Hi, and welcome to the SJ Child Show. The SJ Child Show brings value to families through education, resources, and lots of laughs. You can find us on our social media pages Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. You can also find our special children's books at sjchilds.org. This month is April Autism Action Month. All of our guests in April will be autism warriors, and we are celebrating them and bringing this to the forefront. Enjoy the show.
Thank you so much for being here, Marcus. We are honored to have you. I want you to go ahead and just introduce yourself. Tell us about why you're here and why you are an autism activist.
Well, hello, America. My name is Marcus Leonardo, boys. I'm 38 years old, and I am an autism activist. I am a 13-time music award-winning music producer, composer. I've been nominated for a Grammy 7 times. I'm a multi-platinum music producer. I own a shoe line, a clothing line. And I'm a celebrity interviewer. So I fight for autism because I have autism. I was born with autism. I didn't start talking until I was 13 and a half at a 2-year-old's level. So many doctors said that I would never speak. They said I would never get an education. I always have to have a caregiver, somebody to change me, clothe me, bathe me, feed me. If any education, it would be very small. It wouldn't be to the point where you're talking college graduate or you're talking high school graduate. But I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communications from Ashford University online. And I started talking this way at almost 18 years old.
Wow.
Again, I'm 38.
That's amazing.
So I was on medication from 4 years old to 21, 22. Ritalin, Paxil, Depakote, Lithium, Seroquel, Zoloft. So many host of others. 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day, 2 to 3 pills a day from each prescription. So.
And how do you feel now? Do you use any of those medications anymore, or are you just clean?
No, ma'am, I don't use medication. I use Jesus. I use God.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. It really just goes to show, like you said, a doctor cannot tell you what your child can or cannot be. A doctor cannot tell you if your child, absolutely cannot learn something. We all are learning in one way or another. It's how we learn that parents need to figure out, isn't it? Our own learning.
It's a communication barrier. If your child is nonverbal, it's still verbal. So you just have to find more creative ways to be able to communicate with your child versus sign language via, writing things down. It's like if your child was like me, I couldn't spell, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. But my sisters and my grandmother, yellow sticky notes, hooked on phonics, Muzzy, reading games. Anything they could get their hands on, they did this consecutively. It's a consistency that really helps your child. Even if you get frustration, even if you want to pull your hair out your head, you cannot do that because at the end of the day, with your love and support, that is what's going to help pull your child through. Not a diagnosis, because there's nothing wrong with anybody with disease. You are perfectly fine. You are perfectly incredible. The thing is, and I want to give my head off to all the mothers and fathers out there who love and support and believe in their children, who sacrifice for their children, for their teenagers, for their adult children. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you might be raising the next senator. You might be raising the next president. Who knows who you have, because God knows the end of you, because God gave you the blessing of the child. Nobody knew.
I completely agree with you. And I always say that to people, that teaching children, they are our future. We are molding a future. If we don't start to teach these children inclusion, understanding differences, accepting differences, and being kind to everyone, we are not going to give this generation the proper, farewell to the future. Like, we need to arm them with this information. I love that you're doing this. I completely um understand, as somebody who had a nonverbal child, the the struggles that come with learning how to communicate. But like you said, consistency. Don't give up. Try and try again. Try different things. Don't just try the same thing all the time. Like, it's all about variety and, looking at the spectrum just as it is, trying different things along the way. So I
They
think
have to, I think children to be able to respond better with newness and variety. I, for myself, I can't speak for another child or individual. For myself, I was going through horrific abuse. So it was kind of hard, even if I wanted to speak. The stuff that I was going through, it didn't make me want to speak
I was
quicker.
going to say that maybe that actually held you back in, didn't it? It made you withdraw. And people need
Yeah.
that part, Marcus. That is such an important, I mean, without getting emotional about it, such an important part that these children hear you, these children understand that they're getting love or they are not, or that they're, they're not being perceived as the person that they are. And I think it's so important that we look at that and we are diligent about supporting our kids learning styles and learning how they learn.
Their learning styles, their communication ways, their safety values, because they're going to tell you, they're going to show you these things. I mean, I know, again, because I'm an open book, we're working on my book and my stage play and stuff of that nature. So the thing is, I don't have nothing to hide. I know when I was 4 or 5 years old, and my birth mother used to try to sit me next to my birth father and say, play with Marcus, spend time with him. Again, I was nonverbal, 4 or 5 years old, but then all I heard was, I don't want to play with this kid. You should just put him in the car, give him up. Nobody want to deal with him.
And he just was coming from a place of fear. And that's just so sad and unfortunate for him, Marcus. Unfortunate for him. And bless your heart for being such a warm, loving person, because it's amazing how, as I was telling you before, my husband has Asperger's. He's in his
Mm-hmm.
He can look back at his life where he went through trauma, group homes, same thing, abuse and neglect, and all of these areas of things. He turned around to be the most loving, supportive, kind, gentle dad I've ever seen. Like, the most wonderful person. And all of those things could have turned him into a criminal, somebody who he decided that route wasn't the right way to go. And I think that having a child is what really saved him, because he had to start being responsible. And yeah, it's just amazing how we turn our lives around.
Well, again, I think that's why y'all my superheroes. And, when I start traveling to do these seminars, they're definitely going to come to where y'all are, because I would love to autograph from you and him. Number two, unfortunately, for me, because again, I'm an open book, I did choose the street life, or the street chose me, because again, my mom had 22 kids. So, it was that in one bedroom apartment, one bathroom. We had to eat beans and noodles. So we had eviction notes constantly. So it was, I did the 17 group homes, the 16 different mental institutions, the electrical shock therapy, the 17 different foster homes. I got in foster care in '86. So I mean, I understand wholeheartedly. But at that time, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, you're only going to want to adapt to what you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you there. Wow. It's so overwhelming, to hear, and you just kind of taking it in and just, wow, like I'm so proud of you. And I want to know more about your music because I know that you send me some music. I follow you. So
Yeah.
I hear what's coming up, what's going on. Tell me how you got started in music and how that has changed your life for you.
Um, I literally I have a I don't know if you've seen the movie American Pie, but I promise I think they made a movie somewhat about me for real.
Love it.
I'm not joking because I got in music because my grandma said it was a free summer camp in Brooklyn, New York, and they gave out the free wood flutes. So this is how old I am. They gave out the wood flutes because everybody got one on the yellow bus. You just went there for 3 months. That's when camp used to be a whole 3 months, not 3 weeks.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So we went to summer camp, and I learned how to play instruments, which I know how to play 8 of them. And from there, we went from concert band to marching band. And I was doing concert and marching band since almost 12. I supposed to be 12th grade.
That's amazing.
So I started becoming a music producer at 15. I was working with Organized Noise out of Atlanta, Georgia, which people like Outkast, Goody Mob, stuff of that nature came from the same thing. So they gave me my first laptop with Fruity Loops 1 demo version. Again, I'm showing my age. We had Fruity Loops 13 now. I had Fruity Loops 1, the demo version. So I had to learn how to infuse live instrumentation with digital compression sound. And 18 genres later, 80,000 copyrighted, trademark, sample cleared beats later, we here.
Wow, that's amazing. And I have some of your beats, so I'll make sure that I play them. We're going to do that in the intro and the outro. And yeah, I'm so excited to be able to do that because it's so important that we celebrate every, success and step in that you've made because you've made it. And I'm so appreciative of you being on here with me today, telling your story, being vulnerable and honest to everyone, because that's where people get the real information. That's where people
Right.
are going to go, okay, that is, this person I know is going through that. Wow. I don't want to see them have all those struggles. Maybe I can get them some help or something. That'd be wonderful for people to
I mean, again, the state of Georgia, they gave me Anna Gibbs as my speech therapist. They gave me Bob Ortner as my behavior aide. I mean, I don't know if they still do behavior aids, but they gave me Bob Ortner as my behavior aide. Brother Looper was my therapist. Dr. King was my medical supplier. Um, uh, Reggie Arnold was my behavior enforcer. That's different from a behavior aid. You understand what I'm saying? Dorothy Carr was my social worker.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now, as an adult, are you receiving any services, or do you receive any kind of services now, or
No, because I mean, some services I have refused after I got 26, 27, or whatever have you, because I felt like God has me on the path. And, I am God's creation. So if God can't do it, then no man can.
yeah,
So,
having your own beliefs like that are so important for people to have faith in yourself. And people are so powerful within themselves. They like to give it up to a lot of other things, but really when it comes down to it, that power is within you, and you have the power to make those changes, those choices. My husband and I have been together 17 years.
oh, wow.
Choice that we made a long time ago that, wow, we found we're best friends. Like, why aren't we dating? Or like, we should be more interested in each other than just being best friends. And it worked. It worked. You'll probably laugh about this. We flipped a quarter whether or not we should date. And it was a heads. And now it's years later, here we are. And we wouldn't wish it any other way, because we've just had, of course we're married. We've not had any struggles, but we've had more bliss and more happiness and love than any other struggle. So
at the end of the day, you would have still dated him if it was tails. So, I mean, because,
one. Too funny. Yeah, absolutely. Marcus, it's been so nice having you on here and talking to you today.
Yes,
I hope that we can stay in touch and
definitely
really support each other. And your shoe line, a lot of we posted that in that group, and you got some good responses, and hopefully some people were buying some shoes. I was so excited to see that.
Well, that's just the mock shoe. We coming out with the A3 shoes and stuff of that nature. 3A, which is ambitious, angelic achievers, A3s. So we stepping away from the puzzle pieces, because we want to make sure everybody is accepted, everybody feels safe, everybody feels loved.
Love
that. So, Ryan Hawkins is another founder, business partner of mine. So we really coming out with the A3s. Look for that. And people, listen. I'm pointing. If you have an autism story, if you're an autism superhero, if you feel like you can make a difference in the world, telling your story, telling your testimony with autism, then you need to contact the SJ Child Show. Go ahead and make your request known. Go ahead and send out your media request, so she can be able, and her team can be able to help spread your truth, your story, and your vision. I know I will.
Absolutely. And we're happy to do so. I love that. Thank you so much. Tell us where we can find you too. Give us your websites. Of course, I'll link everything down in the description, so nobody will be lost on where to find you. But yeah, tell them where they can go get your stuff.
Well, you can find me probably in 5 minutes at McDonald's, but you definitely want to go to autismactivistmarcusboyd.com. On Facebook is Marcus Leonardo Boyd. On Instagram is Autism Activist Marcus Boyd. And, just find me a city near you.
I love it. I love it. Marcus, it's been such a pleasure. I mean, I've had so much fun talking to you. We will definitely be staying in touch. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of guy that keeps you warm at night when you are cold. I'll grab some blankets from my bed, wrap them around your chest, and I'll pull you close. We'll flip some channels to find out there's nothing on right now to ease your mind. Sit back, relax, there is no rush, no need to speed things up. All we have is time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. house to live and have a couple kids, and we'll sleep tight. 'Cause baby, all we really need are just a couple things to stay alive, and everything else in between. Just trust my heart, you'll see we're slowly coming. Time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes as spring goes, forever you will know that I love you. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes as spring goes, forever you will know that I love you.